I'm Vince Smith. I was a pastor for 25 years, and God led me into leading an organization that now serves multiple churches around the state. What I keep finding as a pastor and now serving hundreds of churches is that it's not that Christians don't care. They just don't know what the need is, and they don't know how to take a practical next step. They do want to get the gospel right. They want to get this real religion piece right. They need us to be able to help them get educated and take a deliberate next step. We were able to start sharing the needs of orphans and vulnerable children around the world. And as soon as we shared those needs with our small congregation and showed them how to take a next step, 95+% of our congregation got engaged in fostering or adopting or international orphan care. That led us to a more local work of, in my small congregation, 6-7 families beginning to foster and then adopt. And as those kids began to come into our care, we realized this is not for the faint of heart. It is a hard work. And we've seen that time and time again where people opened their homes, said, yes, I'm willing to serve orphans and vulnerable children, but I can't do it on my own. So I need the church to wrap around me and support me in this journey. And as we've been able to see that happen in the church, it's giving everyone the opportunity to do something, to play their part, to live out this pure and undefiled religion. And I honestly say that our full-time job is to invite people to wreck their lives, to become fully surrendered to what Jesus has asked us to do, to take up our cross on behalf of the vulnerable. But man, every time it does, we see the people in our communities attracted to the gospel by the way that we get to serve vulnerable children and families. We invited a sibling group of 3 into our home when CYS called us. Those kids showed up at our house. They absolutely hated church. They'd never been to a church. So they went reluctantly with us the first time to church. And they realized there actually was some kids from their class that attended our church. As our group of people that were serving our family from the church showed up at our house, they started to take an interest in these kids. They asked them about what grades they were in and their interest. And by week 3, these kids were like saying, when do we get to go to church? It changed their perspective. It started to show them who Jesus really was. One of the beauties of what we saw happen because the church showed up when these children were in our home is those children invited their biological mom back to church a couple of weeks later, and they continued to attend. Their social workers are showing up and saying, man, we need the church. Like, this has been something that's missing. We can't do this without you. Our hope is always that we're going to make Jesus famous because the church is doing what the church should be doing, that Christians are showing up on behalf of orphans and vulnerable children and making this religion pure and undefiled. And man, when churches start to do this together, when all of us as Jesus followers start to invite people in the journey and we do it together, not in competition, but because we are better together, it rewrites the story for communities and lives of children and families who so desperately need Jesus today. And to me, this is what pure religion looks like.